better at pinball. I think if you're a woman that dates men, like I love this place, you should have your first date here because you will see him a little out of his element, a little out of control, you know? Whoops, sorry. He might hit the pinball machine, is what I'm saying. Ball drains, he might hit the pinball machine. That's like a $13,000 pinball machine. He might hit you. You don't have that much money. And, you know, when he loses control. Here's what happens when I lose a pinball. I go, Pulp Fiction pinball, I'm so sorry. This is not the real me. I'll do better in the future. I see us together for a long time. Just don't judge me on that last thing. And then I get on my knees and I lick the coin slot. Play with the button a little bit, you know? It's so funny, this place has the Pulp Fiction pinball machine right next to Toy Story. It's like, the Pulp Fiction pinball machine screams quotes of like Samuel L. Jackson being like, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker! Right next to Toy Story 3. And I was playing it once, and this guy was playing Toy Story 3 with his like 7-year-old son. You know? And then Pulp Fiction screaming, does he look like a bitch? I just had to stop, you know. I'm like, I'll go, whatever. Avengers, who cares? And a few minutes later, I look over and he's playing Pulp Fiction with his kid. I'm like, you a smart motherfucker, that's right. Something the machine says. Okay. I work at a small Italian restaurant 3 blocks that way. You may have heard of it. It's called Domino's. I have fun at work. For example, I call my boss Papa John. She hates it. I don't know what that's about. I had to work on Christmas. Can you believe that shit? Last year I'm delivering pizza on Christmas. I bring guy pizza. He goes, sucks you have to work today. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm Jewish. So that sucks too. It's all bad. I don't want to work on Christmas. I love Christmas. And I'm Jewish. Okay, but I don't support Israel. Don't worry. Moving on. Okay. I used to work at a liquor store in North Minneapolis. I was so depressed when they respected me, okay? It's probably the safest place in North Minneapolis because everyone wants alcohol, so it's like, all right, whatever. But I was so depressed when I worked there, I was repeatedly reprimanded for not being in a good enough mood. People are coming in and buying $3 bottles of vodka. They're suffering from alcoholism and generational poverty. And my boss is like, could you smile? You're bringing them down. But I will say, one thing that's very good for morale is stealing money out of the register. Doing that, I was never reprimanded for being in a bad mood again. I was the hardest worker. I figured I had to be. I was making about $60 an hour. One time, the owner of the liquor store caught me drinking a beer in the back, and he was only upset because I didn't pay for it. He's like, stealing alcohol is like stealing money out of the register. Like, good to know. It's just a warning. Okay. Turns out that guy's a liar. He fired me. But, you know, love that. All right. I deliver pizza, and my brother does family law. He's very successful, some might say. But I think my job is better because my brother does divorce. He tears families apart in court.
Wow.
I bring families together with horrible, unhealthy food and a shared disappointment afterwards. It's bad, don't eat it. My boss uses expired food. I looked it up, I Googled it, I'm like, is there a punishment for using expired food? Do you know what the answer is?
No.
Not unless someone gets sick.
Aww.
But I'm sure Trump will fix that. I have this thing, you know how like some people are addicted to pornography where it's like you have to see more and more extreme like tits or whatever. I have that, but with bad political takes. You know? That's why I stay on Twitter. At least the porn addicts come. I just fucking lay in my bed depressed. I saw a bunch. It was like Kamala Harris lost because she cared too much about trans people. Never brought it up. Kamala Harris lost because she was anti-Israel. She was not. But my favorite came from my aunt. I texted her, I was like, she lives in Arizona, I'm like, hey, we're glad Carrie Lake lost, at least that's good. You know, she's like a fucking lunatic. My aunt goes, yeah, that's great, but in my opinion, the presidential election was stolen. 2020, wow, okay, well. 2020 was closer. Like, it was stolen by Kamala Harris trying to get a Dick Cheney endorsement over Chapel Roan. Like, don't you think like a 20-something LGBT pop star should be endorsing the Democratic nominee sooner than fucking the guy that shot his friend? What did he do? Barack Warren? Who's seeing Dick Cheney and is like, I love Dick, you know? There you go, okay. I read an article online. Ramsey County started charging people who called the suicide hotline. Yes, this woman got a bill for $300 because she called the suicide hotline. Listen, if I didn't kill myself when I got that bill, I definitely would the next time I was going to call the hotline. It sucks. Like, what are you doing? Never. That would never happen in Hennepin. We're the good one. Okay. I like doing stand-up comedy because, like, at least you know I'm trying to make you laugh. Have you ever tried to be funny in real life? That is terrifying. Terrifying. One winter, I was at a comedy show. They were loving my shit, much like tonight. And I ran out to feed the meter. It was like 0 degrees. I just had a t-shirt on. I was going to be out there for a second. I saw these two women walking towards me, bundled up, hat, scarf, coat, everything, boots. And one says, it's cold out. And I turn, and I want to keep the comedy party going. So I say, in my t-shirt, I say, oh, is it? It's pretty good off the top. And then she just looks at me and goes, I wasn't talking to you.
Wow.
So at least you know the intent, right? One bad thing about stand-up comedy is it brings you to some weird places emotionally, but this joke is about a place called Coon Rapids. That's the kind of city you drive out of as fast as you can, you know? So I got pulled over for speeding. First thing the cop says, he goes, where's the weed? I can smell it. I'm like, middle console officer schnoz, you got me. That's Yiddish for nose. Then he goes, do you have any guns or bombs or knives in your vehicle? Oh. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm not from Coon Rapids. I'm just leaving it. So he searches my car, doesn't find any guns or bombs or knives, but he does find the first 3 Die Hard movies on DVD. So he took that and the weed and had the night I was gonna have. Guys, thank you so much. I love doing comedy, but I was recently like too sad and drunk to do it, which is like so sad and drunk. Can you imagine? Comedy comes from sad and drunk, and I'm like, nah, it's too much. But so thank you.
Yeah, Magic! Hey! Hey!